Hi everyone, in this video we will be continuing on from the previous video on 3ds Max and tyFlow, spread noise barriers for sound particle simulation part 2. So firstly we'll create another layer and call it tyFlow. We'll click the tyFlow tool, click that in the space, and then it's a bit tricky to select, so I'll just turn off the ground layer, and then go to the modifier tool and click open editor. Before that, you can adjust settings to show the icon and so forth, other options. But we'll click Open Editor now. So this is where we'll create our simulation components for the sound particles hitting the sound barrier and then onto the building, and seeing how the different options, which one works best. So firstly, we'll create the birth component, and we'll give it 215,000. Then we'll add the position object, and then we'll just click and drag that underneath the birth like that. And then with position, we'll pick the train, which is the blue box. And now you can see the particles. And then we'll add the shape underneath position. And we'll click shape and go 3D and pick the whatever shape you like, but we'll go with the sphere low res. Okay, next we'll add speed, add that under the shape, and then add mapping, and you can click tab, and then mapping from velocity magnitude, and then collision, and then just turn on the ground plane again, go back to the editor and pick ground. Then we'll update the friction to 100% and the variation to 0, and then do delete for test action. Then we'll go tab and add collision and pick the sound barrier. We'll give it a bounce of 0, and a friction of 100%, and variation of 0, and we'll add another collision for the building. Then we'll pick and click the red building, we'll give it a bounce of 0, and of 100, and a variation of 100, and a threshold of 0. Sorry, variation 0, threshold 0. And then we'll add mesh and untick the render icon. Change the display mode to geometry. And then we'll just add notes. Can't add anything there, but there's a lot of options for all these components. And now we'll just create a new component, and we'll add the slow, and we'll make all the velocities as 1, x, y, z. Then we'll add mapping. We'll do velocity magnitude mapping from. and then shape, pull that underneath the mapping, we'll give it a cylinder high-res 3D mesh, and we'll add the mesh, untick the render only, and add a collision, and pick the building, and we'll give it a 0 bounce variation threshold, a friction of 100, variation of 0, threshold of 0. Next, we will create a new event, add the shape, and choose 3D cube, and then we'll add a mesh, and off render only, display data, tick event index. The last thing to do is to connect first event to the last event. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the setup of the components. See you in the next video.